Hello and welcome back to part 2 of the bonus episodes for Super Smash Bros. This time we're going to board the platforms, starting off with Mario. I like how the background and some of the set pieces for this one are based off of the steel girders of the arcade Donkey Kong machine. Now then, make sure you don't get hit by those things that are going straight down, because they can gimp your jump really easily. This is, I think, the not weirdest, but most awkward part of the stage, because getting to this last platform always baffles me somehow. I keep on overshooting or undershooting, or just plain going over and around what I'm trying to land on, and it never seems to work. I mean, look, this is like my 5th try just trying to get onto this. Heck, I can't even get onto the one right there. Okay, and I just ignored the girder altogether. Now it's time for Luigi to shine, and he has a very unique one. What with these platforms that you have to board that keep sinking and rising through warp pipes. Definitely something that you don't see very often in this game, or in the series really, is warp pipes that actually work. Plus there's tons of moving obstacles to get in your way or just hinder your progress. This next set of platforms, it moves on a bit of a pendulum pattern, and I completely missed. And there we go. Although this part is kind of awkward here, especially with how small the platform is, and okay, that's a good thing that there was a platform there, because otherwise that would have had to be a redo there. And just waiting around, taking my time, not gonna do anything risky here, because don't want to have to redo anything even further, because this was actually my 2nd attempt at this one. Yeah, look around, Luigi, because there's not much to see aside from the giant mounds of multi-layered pixelation for a background. But finally got that one. I guess I was trying to pass through the platform there, and this one can easily mess you up. It's a shame that it's the final one too, but I got it this time. Now for double Donkey Kong, because I hit the A button twice. Once again, based off of the arcade game, and I like that detail, but what exactly are these heated floors based on? Well, I use it as a bit of a shortcut to get up there, and then use the spinning Kong? What is that? I have no idea what it's supposed to be called, and neither does he apparently. But to keep on spinning like that to get to the other platforms, almost got gimped by that girder right there. I keep trying to go through platforms despite that one not delaying me, even though there were a couple up above that let me do that, and we can just barely get onto that one. I mean, seriously, I barely even had a foot on that. Now then, for Link, most of his break guitars, his board the platforms is fairly easy, aside from the very last one. That seems to actually be a recurring theme here, is that the last platform is often the toughest one to get to, let alone land on correctly, and bit of a fast fall there. But at least I was able to correct myself partway through. Waiting for that wall to move out of the way gets a bit tedious at times. I like how I just use the heated surface as a shortcut and keep trying to go through that, but it doesn't work. Now for the home stretch, this last platform is the toughest one to get to, and that is very easy to mess up, and there's a pit directly below it as well. Sammis. I think I spend either the longest or 2nd longest with her, because this one is very awkwardly designed, and you are pretty much required or at least it's recommended to pause at least once or twice when trying to get that fourth platform, because it's completely off screen when you first go through, and oh boy, this part's always weird, because Sammis' jumps, especially after using the screw attack, are very floaty, so you'll often lose more distance than you gain on that section because of how fast the platforms move, but we've gotten past it. Now time to use the Morph Ball to get past these bumpers. I said Morph Ball, thank you. And this is the last platform and is always the trickiest to get to. I think I was intending to use that charge shot to push me back a bit, but I would have had to be facing the other way for that to work, so I said, forget it. I just gotta do it to the old-fashioned way, and thankfully the other platforms stay and not disappear, although I don't know why they would. And here we go again with this awkward part, and where I keep losing more distance than I gain, or height, rather. See, I went back to like the halfway point up until I got lucky right there. That was very lucky. So, Morph Ball backwards so I can get a good running start, some good speed, and a nice screw attack to get onto that. Yeah, so far almost every single final platform has been awkward to get to. Although, speaking of awkward, the way that I do this with Captain Falcon, definitely not recommended. I do this in such a backwards, bizarre, probably stupid way. I just completely jump over the wall halfway into the stage and start trying to jump onto what's supposed to be the final platform, land on the second to last one, and then start trying to get back up there so I can actually land on the final one. And that was, despite how little it's moving, the way it zigzags like that just really makes it harder to land on, especially with how fast it goes. And sometimes I do get to my jump gimped a bit by that block. So I guess you could say it's blocking my progress, huh? Sometimes I do go and do the flip in the wrong direction. Sometimes I go over the block. Sometimes I go under it. Sometimes I go in the wrong direction like that. I don't know what causes it. Sometimes I don't even go high enough. I don't even know why that's so hard to do it. Of course you would. And then I finally do it and try to go back the way I came, but it turns out to be too high up. Just barely. If that thing had a ledge I could grab, I would have grabbed it. And now I go through the rest of the stage backwards. I don't think I was supposed to be able to land on that thing, but I did, and now I'm going back through the stage in reverse. This is not how you're supposed to do this, board the platforms, not in the slightest. I don't recommend doing what I just did. I just thought it would be funny, and I think it worked, because even I'm chuckling at it. But on with other awkward stuff, it's time with Ness dancing in place, okay? As he goes down this staircase of platforms for a run that I think is one of my better runs through this board the platforms, because I do it a lot faster than I did in the LP, that's for sure. And I think I actually got through it with little trouble aside from that little screw up right there. But at least I got to show what that slippery slope did. Now this part always gives me trouble, but I somehow got through it without a problem this time. I guess I was just quick enough on my feet, or on my mind, and I didn't even take any damage from the bumpers. And I catapult myself into the wall and up onto the final platform. That one usually gives me trouble, but speaking of trouble, oh boy, Yoshi. Oh man, why is this one designed the way it is? This one is awkward incarnate. what with all these moving pieces that go in so weird of a pattern, sometimes you even have to pause the game just to see where that platform will be, or even whether or not there's going to be a platform right there to block your jump, because those things are incapable of being jumped through. But that was a good run. Oh man, Kirby. I'm hesitating here because I don't like going through Kirby's board the platforms because of 3 platforms in specific. In fact, you could even see one directly below the starting area. That one is the first. Although, this one took me a lot of tries to get, and right off the bat I was able to get that one during my first try and almost every single try. I've just gotten really good at timing that one. This part, you'd need to use the stone to get through, or just shield past, but I prefer the stone method. And use up all 6 of your jumps just to get there along with the final cutter. And here's where things get really obnoxious. You have to drop down and then hug this wall while quickly jumping and use final cutter there. And then you can final cutter your way up here. That took a lot of time to get. Now for Fox, I had a bit of trouble with this during the LP, but not here. Considering I had prior knowledge from that run-through of the game, I actually knew what I was doing for this one, and although I got a bit caught up here during this portion that's kind of like a training room sort of thing. It kind of reminds me of X-Men's Danger Room. And, oh boy, avoiding the bumpers, kind of failed there a little bit. Ooh, nice dodge. Just gotta keep on moving out of the way. I make sure to get hit by that bumper, but oh well. And I lost my platform, so I decided to shoot and taunt and reflect as I wait for the next one to come by. Which, by the way, there's always 4 of these platforms moving around the stage at all times. I just narrowly avoided that bumper and got the final platform on 1 cycle. Now, for Jigglypuff. Oh boy. This one's board the platforms is very... You know what? I think the word for board the platforms in general is awkward. A lot of these are very awkward to do. You can't catch up to that one, to these once they've passed you by. You just have to wait till the next chance that you get. And this one, nope. Alright, oh, sometimes that homes in on you, sometimes it actively avoids you. And these bumpers, just like that, will often home in on you and send you careening all over the place. Sometimes even comboing you in midair into another platform, or away from them. Like that. That one just sent me straight off and... Jeez. Got enough bumpers there? Now this part, you have to alternate between jump and pound, jump and pound, jump and pound. Remember, the final 3 jumps that Jigglypuff has do not give you any height. Now then, for Pikachu... Yeah, it's also kind of awkward here. What with this, I'm not even sure how to describe that undulating set of blocks, I guess? Plus this thing where, yeah. I'm not sure how to describe that. They're all going through a set pattern, but there's only 1 platform, so you don't need to worry about it there. And the only spikes in the entire game, and this is what they do, they just shock you and send you flying. But that's it. See you next time.